You're listening to Opinions in Beer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does that have... That has a whiffer?
Robot voice because of...
Thick and dark looking? It looks...
Put a lot of oxygen into the fermenting yeast, they go aerobic and they start multiplying.
Great American Ale off, but I don't want to drink a bunch of American Ales.
Cause of death. Dun dun dun.
It tastes worse than Bud Light.
Straight up 10. Hello and welcome to Opinions and Beer. I'm your host, Adam. Today we have a fun episode. We've got Bryan SilverBaX and James Merendino here on the show. I can't wait to chat with them and whatnot. But first off, before we get into that, also there's a video version of this. So please check out Opinions and Beer on Facebook and or The Beer Guys. Check it out. Check out the video if you want to watch the live video of us chatting. But first off, before we do anything, we're going to get into the beer of the day. And today's beer of the day is Slush by the Prairie Artisan Brewing Company. This slush sour. This is a sour ale with strawberry, raspberry, lemon, and lime. It is 6.1% in alcohol by volume. This is a solid sour ale. It's high for a sour. You know, a lot of sours tend to be 4%, 3%, but it's pretty high for a sour. It has a nice pinkish red color. I like the color on this. It's definitely a slushy type color. It has a solid head in the glass, and you know what? We got a long episode because we got a long chat, so I'm going to jump right into this. This is a solid beer. It tastes a lot like their Christmas beer for some reason, but without like the Christmassy flavors. Like the cinnamon and whatnot and nutmeg and whatever else they put in their Christmas beer. You know, it tastes like Jubilee a little bit. It tastes like Jubilee. This beer's gotten a little warm sitting out here. It tastes like a melted slushy though. Like a strawberry, raspberry, lemon, lime melted slushy. Slush. Melted slush. It's very light and crisp for 6%. For a 6% sour, it's very smooth, and this is an easy drinking, hot summer day beer. And you need a beer that cools you off during the hot summer day when you're wearing a jacket in 80-degree weather. And for that, I'm going to say that this beer, because this is a quick review, guys. We got a long episode. We have an hour chat. I have an hour chat. You understand? That's coming up after this review. And because of that hour chat, I'm going to rate this beer, Slush, by Prairie Austrian Ales, a solid 8 out of 10. It's a good beer. This is a good sour. Solid sour. Solid, crisp, smooth, sour. Here's the chat with James Merendino and Bryan SilverBaX. Okay, we are officially recording, guys. That took 13 minutes. How's everyone doing? How's your days going, everybody? This is Opinions and Beer. We've got, below me, well, now he's small, now he's big, James Merendino.
Hey, how's it going?
And to the left of me, we have comic book artist, comic book creator, Bryan SilverBaX.
Hey, what's going on? I'm just enjoying the live woes of broadcasting.
Wait, what is it? The live woes?
The woes of the growing pains. Like when I was doing video, I'd be like, oh shit, we got the wrong angle. Oh, the light's too bright. You need to go back and move it. I need to come over here and sit down and see if I'm at the right angle. Now get back up. Dude, there's so much shit involved when you're doing stuff by yourself or on a low budget.
Dude, and that's why I originally said I wanted to do it traditionally, because the original Beer Guy show was all video. And we would have, and we garnered quite a bit of fan base during the beginning, but my co-host turned vegan and couldn't drink beer with honey in it, and so the Beer Guys folded, and then I brought it back later and I turned it to a audio only podcast entitled Opinions and Beer, and that's where we are.
Because he doesn't drink beer.
Well, yeah,
because of the honey.
Yeah, certain beers you're unaware of what it may have in it, and if it has animal product, as some beers tend to have nowadays, he cannot have it. Like milk.
Can he drink wine? Can he drink whiskey?
He might, but I think obviously I don't know if you've seen any of my videos against veganism, but me and him had a pretty falling out on I didn't care, but he cared deeply about my opinions. Therefore,
okay. Now I'm not against veganism. I'm just not a vegan. I mean, eat what you want to eat. I don't care.
No, I just said controversial. I would make controversial remarks regarding animals and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
And
now you were just stirring shit up just to make content, or were you actually like stating your beliefs?
A little of both, but this.
Yeah, it's all about the content, man. It's all about the content.
But he didn't tell me. Hey, he didn't tell me it upset him until afterwards. At first, I thought it was just he used it as good chemistry. Originally we just had good chemistry, and then later he just got he got this huge breakup, turned vegan, and then couldn't drink beer with me no more, and then kind of just removed me from his life. Removed me from his life. He made
friends go go different ways. It happens.
That's what it is. It's what happens.
You lost a friend to veganism.
That is true. That is true. And I have a big
casualties.
I have a rivalry now with vegans because they won't stop spamming. Actually, the one good thing about COVID-19 is that they stopped spamming my phone. But
oh yeah, they shut down the spam. They can't employ the spammers anymore.
That's what it is.
Well, I still have bill collectors that I have to mute.
Nothing shuts that down.
Nothing.
Okay.
But
and also,
they're not a zombie apocalypse, an asteroid. Nothing stops that.
The warranty on my car is expired apparently because I get a lot of phone calls about that. On my warranty on my 2005.
I started getting this.
So,
yeah, Verizon wants me to pay the bill. Like, what the hell? Don't they know I need the? I can't afford to pay goddamn Verizon right now. But
special circumstances.
I know there's a pandemic. I need that phone. It's essential. It's essential service. Oh,
it's a right, not a luxury.
Now, James, I don't know how bad it is where you are, Bryan, but I know James he's in the heart of this pandemic.
I'm in Fallout. I'm in the middle of the game.
I don't watch the news, so I don't know where the fucking middle is. I just know I'm in Atlanta, and everybody in the state of Georgia or almost everybody gets to go back to work Friday.
Yep.
Yeah, we never shut down work. Our area never shut work down, and
yeah.
I think one person had passed away, and it was like an older teacher, an older gentleman who had some heart condition, and he had passed away from COVID. But that's the only case anyone's ever heard of in this area. And so it's all rumors. It's all rumors.
Do you think that? I mean, I don't think that COVID even get all the way out to Viter.
Apparently it got to Beaumont, which is literally, it's like the 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes next door. So I mean, but
I mean, still, but you're in Viter. I mean, they probably just don't even let it in.
That's what it is. Yeah, they have no diseases after sundown. It's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a dry county.
Our laws changed last year. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
We are a wet county now.
Okay.
We're wet as can be.
See, we're lousy with it out here. We have the plague everywhere. It's like New York is infested.
It's crazy, man. It's like that's what it is. And I think that's probably where a disconnect is coming in with a lot of people, is that some places have it to the extreme, and then some places aren't even noticing it, but they're still being hit with the same restrictions.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have it without it. I mean, and I mean, maybe the tests are wrong, but we have more cases than anywhere in the world. This is the most right here in New York. I don't know what it is. Maybe because we live so close to each other, or maybe also that just we do a lot of tests. I don't know. It's a lot of people. A lot of people have it.
Well, and it's a big, it's a big tourist place. So a lot of people flock there.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's just.
But then they go home. So I'm curious. At some point, when does everybody else start getting it?
I don't. Yeah.
If they ever do. If they ever do. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. Some states might be opening up. They might be opening up too soon. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so I have no idea.
Who is a doctor? I don't even believe in doctors. I'm a Dayquil, NyQuil kind of guy.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that'll come in handy if anything ever really goes wrong.
Dayquil and NyQuil is a cure-all for everything, is what I like to say.
I think to me, just eat a bowl of broccoli and you're good.
I had a controversial conversation on Facebook with a guy. He's like, I almost died from COVID. I said, well, you should have took some NyQuil.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That's good.
Brian, you've got a big art competition, right, going on right this second for Loggerhead.
I did. I do. I created a comic book character called Loggerhead, and it's coming out from Scout Comics, but it was supposed to be coming out next month. And I had done a lot of marketing to lead comic book shops to order the book. And then the distributor said, we're not going to distribute comics anymore. So now I'm having to reassess my game plan. And so what I'm doing to increase the awareness is having an art contest where anybody can draw a version of the Loggerhead character and post it to Instagram and follow all the hashtag rules. And you could win a slab comic and some original art and some comic books that I didn't write. Like, there's all kinds of prizes and stuff.
That's legit. I was trying to get my I have a younger sister who's very into art and drawing, and she's won some competitions here and there. And I said, hey, look, you should draw Loggerhead for me, and I can post it.
Well, there is an under 12 category for the artwork. So I will be picking a winner from under 12, as well as some of the other categories. So, but the thing about the contest is, once at the end of the month, at the end of May, when all the artwork is collected, only the people that sent in artwork will be allowed to vote on who wins. So even if, let's say, you wanted to do one, you'd have to convince your friends to vote for you. They would just have to do some sort of doodle of Loggerhead and post it and do all the hashtag stuff. And then when it came time, they could vote for your piece.
That's interesting.
But only the people that participate can vote.
That's an interesting twist to the.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And that, it makes people, that way it forces people, hey, to get that Loggerhead brand out there, to tell their friends, like their art friends tell their friends, and they all are drawing. That's a smart move.
Well, I appreciate it. I put a little thought into it when I came up with it. I didn't want to just have a contest where anybody could, the most popular person could win. Like if I had 80 million friends on Facebook, if I got them all to vote yes, then I would win even if my artwork was shit. So I'd rather have the 80 million people that entered the contest that also used the appropriate hashtags to create the awareness for the character. So you have to enter to play, or you have to enter to vote. I think that's, and you can enter as many times as you like, but you only get one vote.
Well, that's cool. That's awesome. So, so essentially.
So for those that don't know, he's like a 7.5 foot tall snapping turtle man. So if you're into drawing big ass, gnarly looking snapping turtles that kill people.
The 7 foot tall turtle man. Look, James, I brought you on here so you can make the Turtle Man movie.
Oh. Brian, do you have patrons? Do you set up a, like I know some people who do comics, they have a bunch of patrons, and then you can they subscribe monthly, and you can reveal like the process as you're creating a comic.
I do not have a Patreon account. I have a group on Facebook that I use. It's called SilverBaX HQ, and it's really just like I'm giving away information. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to charge people. Like I wish people would just support me and say, "Hey, I'll give you $1 a month to keep doing cool shit." But I want to encourage more people to create. So in SilverBaX HQ, the group on Facebook, it's where a lot of people can go and have their artwork looked at by other people that aren't going to rip them an asshole and be like, "Where'd you learn how to draw?" It's more of a supportive community.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good.
So that's what I try to cultivate. But so I've posted in there a couple of times trying to convince those the guys that are in the group, guys and girls, say, "Hey, you know what? Just for shits and giggles, go ahead and draw your version of Loggerhead. You can't. You can't lose."
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to be critical of it, so yeah, why not?
Well, no, but I'm saying, aside from the artwork for this contest, when anybody posts in the group, you can't just say something looks like shit. Like, tell the person why. Say, but try to do it in a nice way. So
constructive criticism is what you're saying, right?
Yeah. Well, sometimes, I mean, there's some people that really, really, really want to draw, right? They think that they're going to be great, and they post a piece of artwork, and it is just busted from head to toe. What comment do you leave for that person? Well, in that instance, I would be, let's go back to the facial anatomy. My comment would read something to like, let's work on getting our face anatomy correct, and then we can start moving our way down the body before we try to tackle such a big project. That's a better way of saying something than to do, why did you even fucking bother picking up the pencil? Both of those are telling the person that they're not ready for prime time. But one of them is a little bit more of, hey, let's start here and then let's build up, because you're not drawing a comic book on your first time out.
Yeah, I can't imagine being that rude.
But dude, it's crazy how much, like even on my posts, on my social media posts, I have a pretty open Facebook account, and I will just post, some artwork or whatever, and usually the people that follow me or that are my friends on Facebook, like they want to be there, right? So you would think that they're not trying to figure out a way to blast you, but then sometimes you just get blasted. I'm like, what the fuck are you even doing here if you just want to blast?
Yeah. No, I have a Facebook page, and if anyone gives me shit about any of my movies, I delete it.
But you know what? You can give me shit about my artwork or my writing or anything that I'm doing, but have you done something? You know what I mean?
Well, that's my point. I mean, look, my movies, I get so much criticism anyway. There's so many other places to just trash me. If you're going to come on my page, you know, like,
yeah, go start a thread on Reddit or some shit where I don't have to see it.
Do that.
That is pretty fun. I could see him. Who the fuck is this? Go deleting people's comments.
Delete.
Like,
I really do. I don't even comment. I just delete. Sometimes I'll say, "You're so complete." Like, they'll say, "Dude, that movie was the worst piece of shit I ever saw. You should hang yourself." I say, "Thank you. I'll do that tonight." You know, and otherwise.
now you have.
And if I'm in a bad mood, I delete it. You know, and that's it.
Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, you do have some diehard fans. I've seen people be like, "Oh, yeah, your movies changed my life. I masturbate to them every day."
Oh, wow.
So I mean, on the opposite, you know, you must feel great to have like these diehard fans.
Yeah, I mean, some people are more optimistic about my work than others. I think that's okay. I'm happy about that.
But in art, man, you can't win all of them.
Yep.
I may think this guy's artwork is phenomenal, and the next guy may just not get it. And so instead of saying he doesn't get it or understand it, he'll say that he calls it a piece of shit. Yeah. So it's just a matter of not being articulate enough to tell somebody why that has no value to you.
Well, I mean, I think that when somebody criticizes, when they say, as a fact, this thing is a piece of shit, you know, and I always think, well, you know, that's an opinion. You could say, I would prefer it if you said, in my opinion, this is a piece of shit.
Yeah, okay, I do understand what you're saying, but I would... hey, that's a piece of shit. If I were you, I would go back and add a third eyeball, extra fingernails, and put a little blue around the edge. So at that point, he called my work shit, but at least he offered what, in his opinion, would have made it better. So that to me, it sounds like he has a more educated opinion.
Okay, but like, I mean, why? I mean, all right, I see what you're saying. But I mean, that presupposes that shit is necessarily bad. You know, I mean, maybe he likes shit.
Yeah, maybe he's a fecal-philiac.
You know, they exist, right? Brown showers and all that.
Oh man, the glass bottom boat.
I found that I talk shit about my own work more than other people do. My movie, I produced a movie on Amazon Prime, and it's like all 5 stars, and well, I think there's 1 4.5 star, but all good reviews. I'm like, oh, this is trash. This is trash. Why did Amazon publish this? Why did Amazon publish this movie? But yeah, I do a little bit here and there, everywhere. James, you were trying to live stream a reaction, like you were watching your own movie with people on Facebook. Yep. And they shut your ass down. Why are they shutting you down?
Well, I had already screened a couple others, but then I decided to screen that SLC Punk, and they I got all the way through the movie, but then they flagged me and they banned me, and they said I was breaking copyright, and I had to then send in the letter saying it's my movie. I have the license to everything, and I don't even talk. I mean, Sony owns it, but Sony doesn't care if I show it. I mean, like it was ridiculous. But yeah, I got banned. So the first thing I did as soon as they unbanned me is I reposted the movie, and then they took it down again. So
what is the name of said movie?
Yeah, they took it. I said, well, I mean, they said like just don't post it, and I said okay, and then I posted it.
Oh, it was a SLC Punk.
Yeah, it's called SLC Punk.
All right.
With fuck. What I was about to say is like the guy from Scooby-Doo. What's his name again?
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard's in it. Everybody's in that movie. James Merendino had everybody in that fucking movie.
Yeah.
It was like, What's his name from?
Devin Sawa, Jason Segel, Jimmy Duvall, Annabelle Bush. Yeah.
It's a cult classic. Brian, if you have not seen,
That's pretty much. I did a pilot for a TV show called Future Cult Classic. It was supposed to come out on the Sci-Fi Channel. I guess it didn't get picked up.
But you never heard it? You never got the chance to see SLC Punk?
No, I have not.
Oh, yeah. It's I think you can get it free on Crackle. But,
I have like Crackle and Tubi.
Yeah, Crackle, because Sony owns Crackle, so Sony bought it. They're the ones who released it, so Sony has it on Crackle.
Otherwise, on the PlayStation.
Off of Amazon. And why bother buying it? You know?
Why bother?
Or I can give you a link.
No, I'll find it on Crackle. I mean, I think being creative and making, like, I did film stuff when I first got out of the military. I was doing like the 24-hour competitions and, writing screenplays. I ended up selling a cartoon idea to a production company. I was dabbling in doing something, but it's just so expensive, getting all the cameras and stuff like that. So
no. See, okay, but here's the thing. I've directed 15 or so movies. I started when I was 24. The people give me money. I was hired by little studios to make these movies.
Oh, see, I wasn't at that level. I was trying to create a body of work to make my shit desirable. So I was still basically doing student films and shit.
I'm one of these like Sundance assholes. I go to Sundance and stuff with my movies.
Oh, that's not an asshole. That's
then I get like
elite.
I was in the Cannes Film Festival, and I was nominated for an Independent Spirit Award, and just bullshit like that.
Oh, see, that's awesome stuff.
I'm like, it's hoity-toity.
I got a friend of mine here in Atlanta named Tony Reams that does that with horror films. So he's taken his horror film for the past 16 months or so. He's been touring it around all these different festivals. He went over to Glasgow, Ireland or something for some huge horror festival over there, won some awards. So
The Closet?
No, it's Playtime's Over.
It's called Playtime's Over? Tony Reams, IMDb. See, I actually looked stuff up.
I know.
Playtime's Over. Playtime's Over. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's the one that it's on the last.
He did one of the episodes of VHS, but he's like a horror guy. He does horror.
He's one of the producers of VHS, and a little inside information, they've already filmed.
Yeah, I know. I have friends that have done segments on that. I know. But he's like, I know. Like, I mean, I know a lot of the horror guys, but I'm not one of them. I'm more of like an artsier kind of guy. But I mean, like, yeah, I definitely know who, like, the VHS guys. I know those guys, and I know. And I think I've seen some of these movies. A lot of these are short movies.
Yes.
Yeah, he does segments. He's a short filmmaker, but short horror films. It looks fun.
Mm-hmm. They're filming Dead by Midnight 2. Yeah, and it's like an anthology of different. Because Dead by Midnight is on his IMDb. And the way that was, you can find that out there on the net. But it's like some horror spirit goddess takes over a TV station. And so there's this section, and then there's this section, and there's this section. So that he could bring in different directors to do different things. And then now, with the sequel, it's gone to the web.
Wow. So he's doing great.
Yeah, and he does a lot of music videos too. Like, he does music videos for like Redman and stuff like that. He's into the old hip hop, New York, Brooklyn style hip hop.
Yeah.
So he's
like Wu-Tang Clan and
Wu-Tang Clan. He's Phife Dawg, all those guys. He's doing videos with those guys.
Now,
yeah,
James, I didn't know. And I seen it recently. You live streamed this one too. I believe it was a live stream, but You did that movie that got certified by Lars von Trier that did the necro stuff. How'd you get into that? Like, what brought you into that?
Well, he had seen SLC Punk, and he had started that movie, Dogma 95 movement, and he figured like it'd be interesting to have me. I don't know. He assumed I was an anarchist or something. I don't know, and so he had me come out to Copenhagen, and he converted this military base into a movie studio, and he drives around on a camouflage golf cart and in camouflage, and I was there for their Christmas party. And so I met him, and he said, "I want you to hear the rules for the Dogma rules." And I said, "Well, as an anarchist, if you call me an anarchist, I have to break all your rules." And he said, "That's why I asked you." So I said, "Okay." And then that, like the Christmas party, they had like a live sex act. I mean, they're crazy. These are crazy Vikings.
Oh wow!
And
fucking donkey show right in the middle of the.
Yeah, I mean they're crazy. So it's pretty close to it. So. I mean, if you've seen his movies, he gets pretty. Yeah, you're talking about.
Probably not for me.
Necrophiliac. He did the movie Necrophiliac.
No. Okay. My bad. It's Nymphomaniacs. Is why I was making a joke.
That's a nympho.
I was making
Nymphomaniac.
Yeah, I was making a joke on the necrophiliacs. I was just making an illiteracy joke.
Yeah. There is a movie called Necromantic. It's a German movie that's really, really, really sick.
Oh.
From the 80s.
No, but he did that. What's that last movie he did? It's called Deer or something, and it has one.
The house that Jack built.
Yeah, the house that Jack built. That movie. I'm so mad at that movie. Fuck that movie. No, fuck that movie. No, it was okay. I can see where he was going with it. But a lot of people claim that he's kind of films movies just for the shock factor.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he wouldn't say that. But I mean, he's a depressed guy. He goes into like serious depression and stuff. But I mean, sometimes his movies, I don't know. I don't understand. I mean, yeah, his movies can be shocking. I mean, like this movie he did called The Antichrist is like, wow. I mean, like you can watch with Willem Dafoe. It's pretty dark. So maybe I don't think that he would say that he does it for shock value, but I think maybe he does.
Yeah, and he always has like big actors in it. He has Shia LaBeouf in in Nymphomaniacs. I mean, he always gets like these big actors to do these movies.
Yeah. Well, God, the guy's worth like $60 million. He makes a lot of money doing these movies.
Oh well, shit.
Yeah, I mean, like he did Dancer in the Dark with Bjork in the movie. He raised $14 million from New Line, but the movie only cost $1 million to make, so he kept the rest. That's kind of what he does. So and on the side, they make porno. So just to be clear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Zentropa, his company, also make porno movies. Because again, they're Danish, so whatever.
So that's where he gets his money.
Well, no. I think his money comes doing Melancholia. I think he enjoys the porno. That's more of the hobby part of it.
Oh, okay.
The work is the stuff with Nicole Kidman and whoever. He gets all the big actors come and do his movies. Lars is like a huge, like important director, though I happen to think he's kind of full of it, and he knows I think that. So whatever.
Well, that's cool. And you still got your I already forgot the fucking name because I have bad memory and I drink. Fuck. What is that for again? What's the it got labeled? What'd you
Dogma 95, Dogma 13.
Dogma 95, Dogma 13. There we go.
It was the 13th Dogma movie. They only made 24, and that was the 13th.
Oh.
It was part of a whole film.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was the 13th of the. If you Google it, it'll give you the list of Dogma movies, and that's Americana is one of them. And then like Julian Donkey Boy was the other American. There's only 2 American movies. One, and then the one by that kid, Harmony Korine, did the other one.
What else has Harmony done?
Well, he wrote Kids. And,
from the 90s?
yeah, he was a kid. He's still younger than me. He did, still, he'll always be younger than me. That's the way it works. But he did Gummo. I think he did this movie about like girls in Florida, very sex-oriented, like sort of chicks in Florida. I don't know.
With the girl from the High School Musical. The High School Musical girl was in it. Spring Breakers.
Yeah.
Was it Spring Breakers?
That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that movie was terrible.
He's not. I don't think he's that good either. But I mean, people.
God damn, that movie was hard to watch.
He's a sweetheart in the independent cinema world. I think he's kind of a spoiled little sort of New York kid, and I never really.
Did he make that movie with Matthew McConaughey recently? Did he make a movie with Matthew McConaughey? Is that the same guy?
Which one?
Oh fuck! Where he's like a drug dealer. Where Matthew McConaughey's this drug dealer that works. He's like a party guy. Maybe he's just a party guy, and he's like on a boat. He lives on a boat. Gosh damn it! What?
Is that Mud?
No, that's called no. It's not Mud. I think maybe he lives on the Beach Bum. Beach Bum. He doesn't live on a boat. He lives on the beach, or he lives like. He goes to. I don't know if that guy did Beach Bum, but I thought that it said in the. I think it said in the advertising.
Yeah, that's Harmony Korine's movie too.
Okay,
yeah.
See.
Man, yeah, so he did the other American Dogma. We're the 2 American Dogma movies that were made. The rest were Danish and French, and Swedish, and I think 1 Italian.
It's a small world. I had London Seabreeze. I had London Seabreeze from that movie on the show a while back, and so what a small world. Everything connects. Everyone's connected now.
Yeah. I see. Like, if you saw the one I made, like I don't make that kind of dark, sort of like gross movies that those guys make. So, Americana is sort of a kind of a comedy. Like it's not dark. Like I mean, it's sad, but it's not a dark, like I don't know, child porn type movies that these guys make.
Yeah.
I don't.
All right.
So,
if someone went on a Dogma binge and they binge watched all the Dogma movies, would yours stand out?
Yeah, but also a movie called Mifune, which is really good by Vinterberg. Vinterbergs are nicer, Celebration and Mifune. Idiots is the one that Lars did, is just whatever. And then Julian Donkey Boy, again, I don't know what they're doing there. But, so, I mean, but some of them are, like, the Vinterberg ones are good. Like, they're definitely better than mine. I mean, this movie, it's called Celebration or Festin, is really, really good. It's a really good movie.
That's legit. That's cool stuff.
Who the hell's Ed Williams?
He said, "What's up, Bryan SilverBaX?"
Oh, I shared it. I got people that check up on me whenever I'm doing stuff.
Hell yeah, man. If this would have posted in the right area, this would be. I feel like we would have more people strolling in. But it's still fine. I'm gonna convert it. It's just a live stream. But I will. I'm gonna convert it all, and I'm gonna post it officially for Thursday. So it's gonna be everywhere Thursday. Everywhere possible. I'm gonna convert it to podcast format. But man, James, it's been a year since I've had you on the show. I feel like a lot of stuff has changed since then for me. After we had you on the show, I think we were feeling pretty good, James. We were feeling really good. And then we had Michael Jai White on the show after you, and we were feeling really good. I think it was after. Yeah, I think it was Michael Jai White. And I was like, oh yeah, the Spawn.
I was an undercover brother with him.
Oh no shit.
Undercover Brother 2 on Netflix. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Undercover Brother. That's great.
Well, the sequel, Undercover Brother 2. I actually watched it too. I like Michael Jordan. I thought he was gonna be the main character. I didn't know that he was
He is.
Well, I know, but he's not the. He's technically he's not the lead, and that his younger brother in the film is the.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the beginning, when Barry Bostwick is telling the guys and his little gay son comes prancing out, and I'm one of the henchmen on the couch that watches the kid come out, and then when the kid says something stupid, I make this like face like, oh, that was my little that was my moment.
How many henchman roles have you played?
I usually go for the cop roles.
Oh, okay.
So I've done probably 4 or 5 cop related roles because I was a cop for 7 years and I was in the military for 6 years. So whenever they say must be, have this experience or must have weapons certifications, the only caveat is I'm so fat that I can't fit into the uniforms. They're like, your waist can't be bigger than 38 inches. And I'm like, well, fuck, most cops are fat asses.
Yeah, so. How did regular cops get in the...
Yeah, I don't.
Why don't they get a standard issue cop?
Why didn't they order some fatter uniforms? Come on.
That's just not very realistic, honestly. That's just lazy.
No, but I mean, we were supposed to be a little bit more fit than I was.
That's kind of unreal. Did you tell him it was unrealistic?
Yeah.
No. I say give me my $85 so I can go home.
Okay. but okay. Good stuff. But you were in The Walking Dead. You were a Walking Dead henchman. You got to play alongside Negan.
I did. Dude, that's one of the craziest experiences I've ever really had. And it was the end of season 8. So this was a big showdown between Rick and Negan, right? And there was probably like 400 extras that were all playing like Negan's men and stuff. But so we're all inside of the sanctuary, and he's up on a catwalk, and he started this speech about how he's going to kick Rick's ass, and it never made it to the episode. Like, it's only in the bonus stuff. Oh. But when he was on that catwalk doing that, it was so powerful to listen to him. Just it sounded so passionate, dude. It was really something to behold, because we also got to watch Negan kill a character with his bare hands while they were fighting in a circle.
Yeah.
And so there's all kinds of cool stuff. And then I actually got makeup and had my face blown off. It was to me, that was the most fun, week and a half that I've had doing this.
Yeah, you did 2 episodes, Wrath and Wroth.
Yeah, the last 2 episodes of season 8.
Yeah, I'm friends with. I'm pretty good friends with one of the actors, Xander Berkeley, who was he's playing.
We weren't allowed to talk to people. We were just extras, There was 500 of us, so we just moved like cows.
What about an Ozark? Did you have a pretty good part in Ozark?
No. Well, I had another scene that was uncut. That was cut. The first season of Ozark, I think it's episode 6 is the one. I'm just one of the guys partying on the stairs when the main character walks by.
Oh, okay.
So, but I was also, we took photos of at that point, she was a little girl, but she was Jason Bateman's daughter, and she won some award at camp, and we were the camp counselors, so we all took a picture with her that I guess was supposed to be like on her mantle, or she was supposed to look at it in a yearbook or something, but I never saw it.
Okay. So that's it. So then you had this movie you're going to do, future cult classic.
Yeah, I was just an arm. All I was a basically from the movie Psycho. My only job was to wear a trench coat that covered my arm and walk right beside the camera guy, and then pull the curtain, and then there's the naked girl right there. So I throw the curtain up, and that was the end of that scene. And then they had me just throw my hand up carrying a steel pipe. So
Okay,
that they
now,
could
is that, I think I know the director. You're talking about Tim Kirby?
I don't remember. He had long black curly hair.
British guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Kirby. Yeah. I know him. I know the guy. That sounds like an interesting show. So
He's a really cool dude too, by the way.
yeah, no, he's a good guy. He does
I
a
was
lot
hoping.
of TV. He does a lot of English TV.
Yeah, but I haven't done any like real acting. I was thinking I was going to take this time during the COVID bullshit that we got, and I was going to like just find some monologues to do, and then just see if I could do them. I was going to do like maybe like the scene from Reservoir Dogs where he's cutting his ear off, and then maybe do, I don't know. I don't know what to do, but I think I have something, and I want to actually get a line somewhere.
Do you want to get a line in a movie?
I want to be cast. That's it. I want to be cast as opposed to picked out of a pile. Like I'd like to have auditioned, or someone say, "Dude, you would be perfect for this."
So you haven't yet gone in on an audition in that whole process?
No, man. All we have to do is send some Facebook photos and shit.
Oh, because it's background work. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I can't even get
Yeah,
background.
But they
work.
shoot a lot down there in Atlanta, so there's a lot of stuff that you can do.
There is, but I'm so removed from. I don't like a lot of the people that I meet, and I meet background people, and I meet. You might know, you've done movie stuff. The background people act like they're so much better than the new.
Oh, I
background
know all about background people. They're the weirdest people.
I can't stand them.
I mean, I've been directing since I was 23 years old. I've had many background actors on my movies. They're like, that's like another world.
So I'm afraid to be lumped in with them, and I think the more that I do background work,
You're right not to, definitely.
and plus I do not like them. They're most of them are the jabroni ass people that occupy this country, and I don't want anything to do with jabronis.
Oh no, and they'll come. I mean, like they come up to me like I have like, so you're directing the movie? Like yeah. And he's like, do you know that the world is flat? You know, and you know, and I'm like, yeah. Can I? And I say to my AD, can you just tell the extra man to, like, you know,
Can you tell?
Where's the fucking PA? Where's the PA in charge of the fucking background people?
The second assistant, the second AD should like handle all that. You know, like, I mean, come on.
Who finds these people, James?
What's that?
Who finds these people?
Casting.
Well, I mean, like, it depends. On the last movie I did, I actually used fans, so that was great. They were all really great people because they were like friends of mine or fans or whatever, and that was part of a perk for the GoFundMe campaign. But normally we hire a thing called central casting, and they just they send us people.
That's 20 central casting is where I find the email and say, send it in if you're 5'9" and you're a black male or you're a white male or you got hairy backs, like whatever the specifics are, you just send it in.
Yeah, and see, that's what we get. We will give my first AD, usually I give him the job to like break down who I'm going to need basically, and as background of 20 or 30 people, and then they go through the cast director set the central casting, and then people show up and they emerge and they're there and you're like, hello, and okay.
They're 90% jabronis.
Yeah, I mean, there's really like, oh my god, like they're like, they try to they will angle for you know, maybe he'll put me in a shot or you know, like so they try to they treat me a little differently because they think, and I'm like, I don't understand, the movie I'm making, no one's going to see this, so don't worry about it. It's not going to make you think.
No one's going to see it. Oh man.
Well, if you're ever shooting back down in Atlanta, let me know.
Okay, I will definitely. Yeah, I mean, if ever we get out of quarantine,
Hey, if you ever
Yeah.
shooting down in Viter, let me know.
listen. You know what, dude? I do it though. I shoot in Louisiana sometimes.
Oh no shit.
In New Orleans.
Oh, that's pretty close.
Yeah, I made a couple horror movies down there.
That's that's drivable. New Orleans is drivable.
Yeah,
to-
well, I mean, it should be like you could. I mean, like I did a horror movie there in one of those old plantations. I mean, like it's not that far from where you are. Aren't you West Texas?
Huh? Wait, I'm East Texas. I'm at the border.
Oh, so you got to drive.
I'm at no. It's you're getting. I think you're getting.
Oh no, East Texas.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty close to.
I'm on the border.
Louisiana.
I mean, I'm on
Sorry.
the border of Louisiana. I'm like 10 minutes.
So
10
you,
minutes.
I mean, what is it like a 2-hour drive, 3-hour drive?
It's probably like 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah, so I mean, like if I'm shooting down there and we have like a day or two, I mean, like every once in a while, because they have really good tax credits. So if I'm shooting a movie for $2 million, they'll give me another $500,000.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, right on.
So
I thought Georgia had some shit like that too, but I don't know.
it's not as good as Louisiana's 35% and Georgia's more like 24%.
That's why all those James Bond movies would film down there.
Yeah, that's why everyone's down there. They all have that huge tax credit, and it's really corrupt, so it's easy to get.
It's corrupt. Good God.
Oh yeah, it's New Orleans. Of course, it's corrupt. There's been a few people that have gone to jail over those tax credits down there.
Oh really? That's not good. But I mean, whatever
Yeah.
works. Whatever works. Yeah, I know.
It's just it's a racket. Anyway, guys, I gotta jump. I've been on for an hour now.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta take a Zoom call.
All right, my bad, man. Hey, man, thanks for coming on, and hopefully we can chat again sometime. You know, we were going to have Joe McHale on the show, but he postponed to next week, so hopefully that happens.
All right, well, let me know because I'm probably still gonna be locked in here. So you know.
Okay. All right, I'll let you know, man.
Nice meeting you, Brian.
All right, we'll see you, James. You'll be good.
Okay, talk to you guys. Bye.
Well, look, is he like a frozen face now? Yeah, he's gonna be a frozen.
I think
face.
like he's probably just gonna sit there and be frozen. He's probably like, is he making like a dirt face?
I know.
Dirt.
What a horrible place. What a horrible place to freeze. Oh, but since I didn't get to, I'm gonna finish my story. This was great though. This was fun so far. I didn't expect, like you guys really chatted really well, and that's what I was hoping for like the chatter of my guests, just to sort of take it over. Like I said, I was gonna have we have Joe McHale supposed to be coming on soon. I've been in contact.
Yeah. Are you going to talk about Tiger King?
Yeah, I have a beer related to Tiger King called Carol Did It Sour Ale. And so I'm gonna drink that beer while doing the episode with him. Apparently he's a big.
Right on.
Apparently he's a big craft beer guy, which is why he is agreeing to come on the show. So that's something.
Oh, right on.
So that's something interesting. So I didn't get to it, and I said I was going to get to it in this episode. I'm going to get to it with you, Brian. So yeah, man, we going back to the off camera conversation. We were going pretty high. We were had our heads in the clouds. Everything was going smooth for us. Like I said, we had me and one of my co-hosts were big fans of SLC Punk growing up. It was it was very quotable. Especially he was a punk rocker, and so SLC Punk is one of those movies that you just watched. And so it was awesome getting.
All right.
So it was awesome meeting James and getting him on, and then we got Michael Jai White on the show, and that was awesome. It was amazing. And then we got.
Now, how did you score that?
I just asked him. I said, "Hey, man, I
Like,
really,
how do you ask him? Like, that's what I'm saying. How do you just reached out on Facebook and said, "Hey, be on my podcast"?
No, I'm having to reach out to managers and whatnot, and
Oh, okay.
I'm having to reach out to people's managers, and I've just been trying my best to sort of build build my connections.
Well, when you get Danny Trejo on, I'll be on that show with you.
Okay, I'll try my best to get Danny Trejo on. But then we went from him and we got Jan Broberg on from Abducted in Plain Sight, the documentary that was famous last year. And
Okay.
and that episode blew up, and it was like it's currently and still our number one episode because she had just got done doing The View. So she got off The View.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was on The View, and the very next day she was on our show. I was like, this is amazing. You know, this is like we were put in a very good position to be seen. Okay? And
Yeah.
so Jambro, so now we're flying high. We feel really super good. May rolls around and we get interview with a band, Wednesday 13. And the interview went well, but our placebo effect that we had, as far as like we had to kind of check ourselves doing that interview. Like a lot of like, instead of like, we were kind of riding high, like, hell yeah, we're fucking big time, we're getting big time, we're growing so fast, and then we were kind of treated like, not by the band, but by like their tour manager and whatnot. We were kind of treated like bums. We were kind of treated like bums, and it kind of like, it just threw us completely off, because like the previous band we interviewed treated us like royalty, like VIP passes. Here's, you know, you can get into the show and whatnot, and then it just was a complete 360. That kind of hurt morale, but it didn't hurt our stuff. However, we got when we interviewed Jason Ellis from the Jason Ellis Show, professional skateboarder, radio talk show host, and whatnot. It went so bad. That interview went so terrible, because mainly we had a buddy that would hang out with us, and he was great for one of the interviews. He just kind of stood back or whatever, but I guess he was going through something that day, and so he just starts he's like telling this guy that he needs to work. He's a professional skateboarder, and our friends like drunk and telling this guy he needs to work on his 360s or whatever and work on his skateboarding moves. And he's like, it goes so bad. Jason Ellis, he goes on to the radio and shits on us.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, I say he shat on it. It wasn't like super bad shitting, but it was kind of like, okay, this is gonna hurt us, and and we haven't really been able to bounce back since that day. We had to take a step back from interviews. We've been just trying to grow. We spent the rest of that year and up until right now just trying to grow naturally without interviews, and so that's where we've been.
Well,
that's where we've been.
I say, if I can offer a little bit of advice, a little structure goes a long way. So if you have like segments, I think of it like morning radio.
Yeah.
To where, all right, we're going to talk about what was your favorite movie of the past since we last did a podcast, or what's your favorite song? Some sort of something that's regimented, so that when you get dead air, you don't just sit there and go, what should we talk about? That way that you have these things that you can go to and people will expect to hear them. And then that'll help keep conversations moving, because it sounds like you're very free and kind of just wanting to shoot the shit. But if you have a lame guest on that doesn't quite know how to push the conversation, or the conversation starts to go in a direction where you're not happy, having those structure points will make it easy for you to come back to something and get it back on the rails and avoid dead air.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I 100% agree. And like, you should have seen how we used to have layouts. Like, we had layouts of the entirety of the interviews and whatnot, and we did that with Jason Ellis, man. We had this layout of everything we were going to talk about, what to go to next, but it's just like I couldn't get the room under control, and it just like people were literally fighting above my head because one of my co-hosts started fighting live with Jason Ellis, started fighting above my head, just arguing, and I'm like, fuck, shit, oh, god damn it, shut up, everybody, I'm trying to interview this guy still. This guy's still
It sounds like you brought an unprofessional jabroni to a professional thing that you're trying to do.
Yeah, that was a mistake. That was my mistake, and it really cost me some co-hosts because they're like, it just kind of hurt the whole situation. Everything was just kind of a downhill from there. But we've been slowly building it back up. We do life advice here and there. We do some kind of we do special segmented episodes. Just do. I had a little bit of stuff written out right here in case of dead air. But I mean, everybody was very talkative and could control the conversation. I mean, it was good. I didn't even need it. So good stuff.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and plug my shit before you kick me off.
Okay. Yeah. You go ahead and plug your stuff.
All right. So I need you guys to follow me on Instagram. It's BryanSilverBaX. Just look up the word silverbacks in any search engine, and it'll get you to me. I need some eyeballs because Loggerhead comes out. It's coming out next month. I got the Loggerhead art contest. This is my first comic book I've ever written or drawn, and I want it to be kind of a big fucking deal.
Hell yeah, man! I hope you all the success, man. I've been watching you. I love everything you're doing. I love the Apex thing you're doing. The Apex thing looks really cool too.
By the way, Apex lives in the same world with Loggerhead. By the way, so Apex is a mutated killer whale man, and I've already written the issue that he's in, and it's off to the layout guy. So that'll be finished probably in like 2.5 months and ready to print. But so Loggerhead comes out, and then by the end of the year, Apex will come out, and there's a third person that's going to come out after Apex, and then all three of those guys are going to go on an adventure where they're all three in the same story.
That's awesome, man. You have that shit planned out.
So they all... Yeah, man. Yeah. I got to.
Hell yeah.
You're competing against Marvel and DC and Image. Like, you're competing against people that have a way... they've been doing this for a long fucking time, and they've got a lot of resources behind them. So the only way for me to achieve any success is with somewhat of a plan.
Yeah, man. Also, on top of all that, you also do... what is that you're doing? You're doing commission-based work. Where how does that work? That someone reaches out to you and you.
That's how the bills get paid. So if let's say someone likes my artwork and they want to own a comic book that I drew the cover of, most of it goes through Instagram and Facebook. Just through private messages. Hey, Bryan, I'd like you to draw a picture of Batman on a comic book. How much is that? And then I'll say $50. And they're like, all right, here's my PayPal money. Send it to me when you're done. That's generally how it works.
Do you do caricatures?
I do. Like, you talking about like when you go to Six Flags and shit?
Yeah, like people. Do you draw like? Can you do like people?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't do really good likeness work. Like I'm not a portrait artist, okay. So I'm not going to draw it and make it look just like Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman. I'll draw it and it'll look like a comic book version of Wonder Woman, you know. And I'm also not the guy at Six Flags drawing you with the big ass head and the little and the little nose. Like I don't do that stuff either.
I didn't know if I guess. It's wrong to assume that an artist can just do it all. Do all the artists, all the artwork.
Yeah, I can't do all the art stuff. I don't paint. I barely draw. Like I fake my way through drawing just enough to have people like it. That's about it.
All right, man. Well, we'll close on that. Thank you so much, Bryan, for being on the show. Hopefully, we can get you back on someday, and we can have like I wanted to.
When you get Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo. When I get Danny Trejo,
When you
I'll
get Danny
you back on.
Trejo, because Danny Trejo, I designed one of the T-shirts for his website. So one of my shirts is an official Danny Trejo shirt that I designed. But I'm he follows me on Instagram and reacts to my posts and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
That's awesome.
That's
legit. Hey, you know what?
He's got 1.5 million people following him on Instagram, but he only follows like 466 people, and one of those people is Bryan SilverBaX.
Hell yes. Hey, you know it's quarantine season, so you know he's not doing anything. So maybe we can figure something out.
I look at his Instagram stories. He's still out there selling tacos. He just dropped a new cookbook on like 76 pages of different taco recipes or something like that.
Hell yeah.
So he's still putting in the work. But he doesn't come to many conventions out here on the East Coast. So I'm probably never going to have a chance to meet him in person.
Well, maybe one day. Maybe you're gonna pay him to come and sit at a booth with you.
Yeah, I don't know that I can afford that. But thank you for having me on, man. I hope the podcast goes well for you. I hope that Joe McHale works out and y'all have a good time. And to anyone that's watching, support creativity, support people doing shit and getting off their ass, and stay creative.
Thank you.
We are a million and billion.